Hello and welcome once again. My name is Bill Stevens. I'm super excited you're here. And today we're going to do another Google tutorial. In this situation, we're going to talk about Google Docs 1.2, which will talk about text style, fonts, sizes, and more. So, as discussed in the last tutorial, we've learned how to open up a Google Doc and how to share it. Now we're going to learn how to type in it. It's pretty simple. First, in the upper left-hand corner, you can title your text, which is a good idea to do because eventually your Google Doc is going to go into your Google Drive. You can also click into your Google Doc, which is probably what most people do. So let's go ahead and just type a little bit. So we're going to type, and we can do all kinds of typing, type, and we can type words. That's great. You can do it in many different languages, and you can do it in a couple different ways, but the main way people do this is through typing with their keyboard. Now there is one other way that a lot of people prefer, and this is the voice typing. This is a fairly new feature, but not brand new. All you have to do is you go to the tools in the upper portion of the document, and you're going to scroll down to where it says voice typing. You're going to click this and you're going to see a microphone. Okay, now you got to make sure that your microphone is enabled. Mine is, but at the moment of recording, you're not going to be able to see this typing what I talk about. But all you got to do is click it, and it's going to change colors. It'll turn red, and at that point, it will start typing for you. As I mentioned before, I'm using my microphone, so right now, as you notice, Google Docs cannot hear what I'm saying. So that is another very useful way of typing. Now, we have three words right now, type, and we're going to talk about text styles, okay? So text styles, I want you to recognize that we have normal text. These are our text styles, and right next to it we have fonts, which is actually our next topic. And they're similar, but they're not exactly the same. I'm going to show you the difference real quick. So normal, we're going to go ahead and go into the text style. Now text style is something you might see if you're a blogger, okay? Often you have a title at some kind of document, and then you might have a subtitle, which is typically a little smaller, maybe not as bold. Then you have different options here. You have the biggest headings or the biggest style of typing, no matter what your font is or what style or what script you're using. Okay, then you have heading 2, heading 3, and then you have other options where you can create custom styles. Okay, so understand, again, titles usually just used at the beginning. Then headings are your big topics, and then you have your subheadings used with papers and with posts and all kinds of different things. And they help organize you. Okay, then we have the actual fonts themselves. Now if I click fonts here, you notice I'm going to have a bunch of different styles. Okay, a couple things you want to be aware of. Google Docs does not have every single possible font there ever was. Okay, and that's okay, because Google Docs is free. All right. Now, when you choose a style of font, it will show up in your recent area right up here. So for instance, say I want to use Impact. Okay, so I select Impact, and I'm just going to type Impact. And you notice my text font is very different from what I had before, which up here was Arial. And you notice when I clicked on it, it changed. Okay. Now, say you want something else. You need some variety. It's just not right what these default fonts are. All you got to do is go to More Fonts at the top. And Google offers some more fonts that you can add to the list. Okay, and you can actually go ahead and customize it a little bit. You can choose these different ones. So for instance, say I wanted Oswald, right? I'm going to click Oswald. And then I want to go ahead and press OK, and that's going to be part of my fonts that I can choose from later. So I'm going to go back to fonts, and you notice Oswald's in the recent, and there's versions of it: extra light, light, normal, medium, semi-bold, bold. And if I scroll down, it's in your possible selections you can choose from. Okay. All right, now we're gonna go to sizes. Now sizes is pretty simple. It's not an incredibly difficult concept to understand. You can always highlight text and change the size. incrementally. You can do that by pressing the plus button to make it bigger, or you can press the minus sign to make it smaller. Next, we have a few other options we can help make our text a little more unique, to provide emphasis, or perhaps maybe it's a different character in a story. We have our traditional bold, where if we click it, it becomes a little thicker. We have our italics, which is kind of a little more fancy script. And then we have our underline. Okay, and people use all combinations of that. Next to that, we have our text color. Now, by default, Google has everything in black, but maybe you want to bring attention to a particular section. You can choose from this plethora of colors, or you can actually customize it and provide the hex code, and you can also scroll using this dot and find the exact color you want. You can experiment there. So I'm going to experiment. Let's see what that kind of green looks like. And so you notice I have customized my text color. Finally, this deals with the background of your text, so the highlight color. So traditionally people had yellow back in the day when it was all about hand tools, but now you can have all kinds of colors. It's up to you. You can even choose to have no background. You just have to highlight it first, select it, and we're going to put it back to no highlight. And that is the simple truth of Google Docs text styles, fonts, sizes, and more.